And we got another well-back favourite in the last well-back favourite. Won the last race yesterday. Let's hope we can stick it up Shinners. I'm sure we'll be back tomorrow.
Steady on, Nevo. I'm not sure we want to stick anything up Shinners.
Who's on track for us? Ah, Sir Nick, look. And Dave Nevison.
Okay, well, I'm back in the ring, and as I walked back, asking the bookies whether they wanted to say anything, they all blanked me. I've had about 2 or 3 punters coming up to me, showing me their phones, showing me whether they should cash out or not. And I just think, while Ruby's in this sort of form, the only thing I could say, this is the day that you live like a lion. We live like sheep so many days of the year as punters. This is our day. It's got our day written all over it. It is inevitable. If this one wins, and it will win, then it could be an absolute carnage day.
And in power at the last race down!
I recite racing TV on my, in my sleep every time I'm due to come on, because otherwise, the swear bar do whatever the Racing UK
I've done it! Yeah, there we go! Get your money out,
I know I was going to actually swear then.
There we go. How can I do that? Unbelievable.
Right, okay, no more.
Anyway, crack on.
Inside the final half furlong, Dream Burgess wandering around a bit, Winford blasting home in second, then race up towards the line, tight!
The author of No Easy Money and a bloody good winner, and he's the man to our right, in between myself and Martin to our Dave Nevison. Do you enjoy that?
Some of it. I think it's teed up the show quite nicely, isn't it? I think I'm going to have the mickey taken out of me.
Like watching your life through stages, wasn't it?
Yeah, my hair through stages as well, yeah.
You got better with age, Neville.
Well, there you go. I've given up all the bad stuff and just do the good stuff now.
All the bad stuff.
Except when my eyes are closed, and then I'm doing the bad stuff all the time. There you go.
Do you know what's, when the idea came through to bring you in, it was to talk in
between... It was about 10 minutes ago.
Talking in between races at Dundalk, and probably didn't really consider the weather forecast, but now you are charged with filling in the gaps, which are quite long ones now.
I'll do my best. There's a few stories. There's been a few stories along the way, so we should have a bit of material. Unfortunately, most of it can't be on, but we shall see.
It'll be like a cross between This Is Your Life and You Can Lie Down on the sofa, put your head down, like therapy.
It's not far off that, is it?
Well, I'm sure the
viewers
are intrigued. Yeah, I've got a pincer movement either side of here, haven't I?
I mean, a lot of people will know your story. A lot of people are familiar with you. I get people that come up to me on track and ask me about you.
Is he still alive? Yeah, no.
Well, they know you are. They see you, like, it's not quite AI and hologram stuff yet.
Right.
But I guess it's been a while since we sort of talked about you and your time in racing, rather than bringing you on a Saturday or a big festival day and talk about the racing.
Just to tell you, I celebrated my 50th anniversary of paid employment in racing this year.
Did you?
Yeah. I worked as a Saturday boy selling race cards for Timeform when I was at school. And the first one was 1970, well, it's 4090 here, isn't it? 1976. The summer of 76, Timeform Charity Day is when I made my debut. It was like a library, my stand. I couldn't sell a card because people kept borrowing them and reading them. They were all reading the cards, and they all gave me back after the first race.
So how did you arrive? How did that happen?
Well, I'm from Halifax, which is where Timeform came from. And my old man he's a copper, and he, I don't know, probably had an affair with the receptionist on Timeform, and we used to
like
get
father, like son, or not?
We used to get a black book a week out of date. So I had the black book more than any textbooks I had from the age of about 10-year-old.
Did you?
So I can remember horses from the early 70s more than I can remember what I've tipped tomorrow. It's just. I mean, age does funny things to you, and landing on your head in this case.
We're going to talk a lot about the life and times of racing, but if you could go back 50 years and impart advice or experience on that young buck Dave Nevison back then, what would you say?
I don't know. I mean, I've been through the Mincer a couple of times, but I've had a life of 10 men. It's just been brilliant. But I have, there's been that when you try and do what I did. Someone once said to me I was the best back to the wall merchant they'd ever known, because I was always on the edge of, and sometimes tipped over into absolute nothingness. But you just keep
you just keep going.
Did you know when you were going to be, on the canvas?
I actually dated a careers officer once in house. She was about 8 years older than me. It was part of my life lessons, and I asked her.
You weren't still at school at the time, were you?
Yeah.
I just left actually. In fact, I might have actually been still at school because I was still living in Halifax, and I left very early, age 17, 18. So yeah, chances are I probably was. I don't know whether she's still alive, but if she's watching, hello, Marion.
Imagine if Marion was watching.
What time's the first libelous thing that's said tonight?
I asked her to dig up my careers thing.
Yeah.
And, you're going when you're about 15 for your careers thing. And my comment that you put, I only want to do anything to do with horse racing.
Yeah.
That's what I'd written on the thing.
You achieved that and more.
Yeah.
But why? What was it?
So I was mad on it. Basically, my story is, and my mum hates this, and she possibly might be watching. My mum used to work in a fish and chip shop. She'll never admit it. She went on to be a physiotherapist, but she used to work in a fish and chip shop. She used to drop me off at my granddad's, and he was early retired from the buses with a heart condition, and he used to have the Sporting Life on a Saturday, because Sporting Chronicle, and then Sporting Life on a Saturday for a treat, and the handicap book. And I used to sit on his lap in between, and we used to be talking horses. And that's it. That's all he did was sit in his armchair and watch racing. I can remember racing in black and white. It's ridiculous. But
so it was inevitable you were going to go down
I had no chance.
Road.
I had absolutely no chance.
I told my careers officer I wanted to be a jockey.
Yeah.
And he seriously, in front of the whole class, he told me to think of something a bit more realistic.
Well, I don't remember the comments, but I don't think the teachers at school were massively impressed. But
what did your peers go on and do? I mean, obviously they did different things, but was there
I haven't got any friends left from school, so I don't know, to be honest, in terms of those peers. But I don't know. I don't come from a racing background. I don't know anyone from racing at all. But I just, it was. I mean, to me, we used to get the bus from Halifax to all the big meetings, like the coach trip from. Basically, we'd go on the Ebor day on the coach, and if anybody had any money left, or if the men, like my granddad or my dad or my uncles, would want any money, we'd get the coach again on the Thursday. But if they were skint, you wouldn't go on the Thursday. But we used to go Wetherby, Easter, and Spring Bank holiday. We used to go to Ripon in August. York was the big one, and just go everywhere. And I got my English teacher, Mr. Brewer. He's either dead or he'll be watching. Hi,
Mr. Brewer.
He used to pick me up in this battered out. He was a Cambridge graduate. He was a very clever bloke, but he was potless punter. Yeah. And he used to, even when I was at school, from the age of about 13, we used to go to the races every Saturday with my English teacher. How weird's that?
We've been talking, Dave, about your early beginnings going into city life, but I guess a lot of people will want to understand, on a racing show as well, where racing changed from being the hobby to the life.
Well, basically, I seem to be a bit of a Joan Banks, because Creditly NA hit an iceberg as well, and there was a wave of redundancies there, and I got the bullet, but I also got a good payoff, very good payoff. And I'd started...
You have a theme running,
Yeah, I'd start... I can bring Banks down. And I hated the last couple of years. I still did the lunches and still liked the drinks, but I hated the job.
But where were you in sort of family life at that point?
Well, I was just getting married, and baby due 3 months later, so you can imagine the setup. And to be fair to the mum of my children, my ex, I got the payoff, and she was heavily pregnant, and she fully expected me to get another job in the city. I said, I'm not going back. I'm going to go and spin it up on the racecourse. And to my eternal thanks, she said, as soon as you've lost it all, get your ass back up in the city.
Yeah.
And that was...
And pregnant with the first child?
With the first one, who's now 31.
Do you think she probably just knew you needed to get out of your system?
Yeah, I think so, yeah. She was just, that'll last till Christmas.
And how long did it last?
Well, I
Here we are.
Still a little bit, still a little...
So that got you going?
Yeah. And I didn't really win anything for a couple of years because, as I say, I was a price-wise punter and I was a win single or each way single.
Yeah.
Relatively big amounts because I knew I had to turn over a bit more money. But I'd have 500,000, $2,000 on a horse, and I'd have one or two bets. But I'd go to the meeting, I'd pretend I was looking at the horses for every race, and then I'd have me bet, and it was fine. But when you go to, let's just say Sedgefield, I don't particularly remember, when you go to Sedgefield, back 2 losers that you've been working all day the day before on, it's a hell of a long way back to London. And then I lived in Wandsworth, and Eddie Fremantle lived in Putney, and he'd more or less at the same time left the sporting life, and he'd gone onto the track, but he was doing things a different way. He was flying around every race, and seemingly betting every horse. And I thought, what? So we became friends. I got to know him, and he explained he bet to a tissue, so pricing a race up to 100%, and then just betting horses that were bigger than his tissue price. And if you've got sufficient margin and margin for error, you were going to come out in front. And I could do the maths. There was no. And I just thought, I found the key, or I've been told the key. And
so I think one question I would like to, and I'm sort of revisit the book to a degree. You replace going to the city every day, getting on the train presumably. So replace that with jumping on a train to head to presumably into central London, King's Cross, St Pancras, wherever it might be, to head on to just wherever the racing was. Were you going near enough every day?
Yeah.
So it was a proper.
Oh, it was more than a full-time job because I really wanted it to work. I didn't want to do anything else.
Study time on the train as well, and
you study time on the train, but
I
just get up early in the morning.
Yeah.
I mean, I had a quite well-earned reputation as a good-time Charlie at the big meetings, but the big meetings are easy. The big meetings are easy because you know all the horses and they've got documented form. But what people didn't see or never saw was sometimes I used to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and drive from London to Southall in January, for when they start at 10:30 sometimes in the morning. I'd be in the press room, which is just on the stands, absolutely freezing. You'd turn the light and there'd be no heating, and you'd walk into the press room before even the clerk of the course got on the track, and I'm with my fingerless gloves going through the Timeform perspective in those days with my marker pens and everything, doing the races.
Was it important for you to actually physically go to a race if you're going to have a bet?
The thing is, in those days, at Southall on a Tuesday in January, there'd be 3 lines of bookies. There'd be 35, 40 bookies there, and there'd be no Betfair. They'd all have an opinion. So it was just fantastic. You could just, and they hadn't done any work, not compared to me, and you could just pick them off.
So would their prices differ by
they're
quite
different,
a lot?
yeah. And then, I could walk in those days, so you could run around the ring just picking them off, and you won every race. You were just winning. It was just.
But because you were putting so much work into it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was.
How long was it when, let's say, a Southall or a Wolverhampton or wherever it might be? How long was it when people started to know who you were?
Oh, not long.
You started to getting recognised and.
Not long. Yeah, you soon became you were at the races every day. I mean, it was an accepted battleground, but a nice one. I used to have bookmakers' workmen following me around. Everyone, so did Eddie, but he was a bit bigger than me, so they didn't need to. They could see what he was doing a lot easier.
Was this the point where you realised you could make a living out of this?
Yeah. And
a good living.
a very good living, yeah.
And is a wife and a, well, young child at home, but a wife at home pleasantly surprised how things are going?
Yeah, I don't think Lottie ever really accepted that was a proper way to make a living. But we did make a living.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed it. I mean,
did you and do you still follow very, very strict rules?
no, because the world is so far removed from what it was then. Right. It's the betting world is so far removed.
Do you think you could
bet, or what risks you're going to take?
Do you think 30 years on you could do it again, from the same age, the same situation, the payoff in the city?
I think if I could go back 30 years ago and asked to try it again, I probably would, but I wouldn't be doing it that way, because that just isn't the way. The bookmakers are uniform, in that there aren't as many of them. There's the information, we used to call the internet the information superhighway. Don't know whether any of you remember that term. It was on all the news. This is the future.
Internet.
Yeah, and basically the advantage that I gained by going racing every day and being totally absorbed in it, you can get by pressing a button now. It's so much more difficult to get an advantage. Right. I think to do it now, I would be turning over higher volume for lower margin, and I don't know how.
Because that information now is widely available on iPads,
even the mugs are informed. Right. Do you know what I mean?
Why are you smiling when you're looking at me? Why do you say?
I'm not.
Mate, I had 6 winners at Dundalk tonight. My quality was called off.
Yeah.
I was under pressure knowing I was on with you tonight. I really worked hard on Dundalk.
Yeah. Bring us to the sort of the 2000s, because you know, post advent of Betfair, but you have been involved in, I'm not even going to say Saturday horses, proper festival horses, and I'm going to mention a 2-year-old that a lot of people will remember, whose career went on for many, many years, but you were involved in the early days of Kingsgate Native.
Well, I was with John Best when he was bought. Yeah, we were going around the sales together a lot then, because it was all going really well. And Kingsgate Native soon revealed himself as a superstar, certainly in comparison to the horses that John Best was having. Yeah. John was known largely for Lingfield, really, and he had Lingfield standard horses, but this one was different, a monster.
Were you involved with him? Did you own a piece of it?
No. We were teamwork buying them, but not owning it. But I knew all about it, and I was going to make absolutely sure that I changed my life when it first won.
So they knew he was that good at home before he'd ran?
Yeah. Oh God, yeah.
Did you have a bet on him first time out?
Here we go.
Right. So this, you know, that was very well done. So he was due to run in a maiden auction race. This is my version of events. It was a 7-runner maiden auction race or median auction race, one of those at Goodwood. Poor race. And it was Chester May week, and we knew it was a certainty, but it was 33 to 1 because there were decent. It didn't matter who the trainers were, but they were proper trainers who'd got runners in it, and he was the outsider in the paper. I think we actually booked one of John's apprentices to ride it, just to make it obvious that it wasn't doing anything, and I backed it to about 150,000 at 33, everything on at 33 to 1. I'm at Chester, outside the little press village there used to be there.
Right.
Champagne's already on.
Waiting to collect.
John on the phone. Hi, John, how's it going? All right, yeah. I've got a bit of a problem. I went, what? He went, it can't run. Anyway, there was some passport infringement, something either jabs or wrong horse passport. I don't know, I don't remember exactly what it was, but the horse couldn't run. So, and it had been backed into 7-1.
For the cat, to use what you said,
The cat
is
completely
no longer in the back.
Yeah. I mean, I was distraught. I mean, it had already won. There was no earthly chance of it getting beaten.
History probably says so, yeah.
Right, so 2 weeks later, and meanwhile, the owner wants to have a Royal Ascot, and he's seen it on the gallops as well. He knows it's all right. He's backed it. Probably didn't know I'd backed it to win 150 grand, but it doesn't matter now, does it? Anyway, so we need to get a run into it, so it goes to York. 20 runner, all the top northern trainers have got their horses in it. 20 runner maiden race, 14-1 opened. Backed it again, not to win anything like as much, but enough to, pay for a good holiday and more.
Another way.
I'm going up on the train, and it looks a bit wet outside, and it was like a monsoon happened, and York was underwater by the time we, so meeting abandoned. So the owner said, well, it's running in the Windsor Castle. And I won't say what I said, but John was pleading with him not to run it. First time up in a race like that, 28 runners is usually, something like that. Anyway, 119-1 on Betfair. So I did back it, probably 200 or 300 quid, thinking it can't possibly win that first time out. Anyway, it got to within a neck of a certain jockey to my right who stuffed me in the Windsor Castle. I can't believe I'm sat down with him now. I didn't even remember.
20 years later.
And it was the shortest of short head.
Yeah.
You were very unlucky because...
Oh, I was, yeah. No, unlucky I was.
Because George Baker's riding your horse.
Yeah.
And George has got a big old conch on him.
Oh, yeah, if he
But
yeah.
I've got a bigger one, and I think that was the difference. I literally got him on the line, but it came back to haunt me, didn't it? Because he ran in the Molecombe next time for his second.
Yeah.
And then, of course, he ran in the Nunthorpe.
Yeah.
And John Best rang me and asked me if I wanted to ride him. 2-year-old in a Nunthorpe.
Yeah.
And I said, no, I'm not right. I'm not going to kill myself
Here we go.
to lose weight and ride a horse with 8 stone 1 in a Nunthorpe who's got no chance. And look what happens.
The blue and yellow, if you're just watching as well for the first time. I can't believe this is 18 years ago.
Yeah, he comes in a blue right in the middle of the track, comes siding through under Jimmy Quinn. I was watching this from another meeting.
We were watching it at either Keeneland or Carla Sales. I think it was Keeneland Sales.
What did you think about the Nunthorpe at the time, Dave?
What did I think?
Well,
I mean, we had a bet on it, but I'm talking not like a bet, I mean, it was just brilliant to win a. It was a maiden.
It's a maiden Nunthorpe, yeah.
2-year-old.
Maiden 2-year-old
winning the
Nunthorpe.
Nunthorpe.
Yeah.
Maybe it wasn't the best Group 1 that's ever been run. Probably never is. But it was it was a heck of an achievement.
But he's the reference point now in the many, many years since then. We've sat there in the studio and talked about, the 2-year-olds that have tried and the try to emulate Kingsgate Native.
I mean, he was. He must have been freakish. I mean, I think he was 38,000, which is.
But look at
enough.
Look at the size of him.
Yeah, you did.
It doesn't look out of place.
No,
it doesn't look like it.
Yeah.
If you said spot the 2-year-old, you wouldn't be able to.
He had such a long and distinguished
power.
career after that, didn't he? He went on to the age of 11.
He was stocky. He was a proper sprinter, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, Oh, you were unlucky. He definitely would have won at Goodwood, wouldn't he?
I made an auction. Oh, my word, yeah.
So far, Dave, I don't know how this story's going to keep going because you've had a lot of bad luck and you've crashed a lot of banks. And
yeah, the thing is, you don't really remember the wins. You remember those.
The ones that got away.
Yeah.
We've got a couple more of them. Don't worry.
Some of them even worse.
Yeah, some stingers. We're going to go back in time now, further, about 10 years prior, Glorious Goodwood.
Oh, this is My Best Valentine.
This is, yeah. So
I backed My Best Valentine. It was trained by a trainer called Vic Sohn, who'd been a rider for Fred Winter.
Right.
For many, I think he was second jockey to Frankham, or second or third jockey to Frankham at the time. But he was a good trainer. This was an older sprinter, but I'd seen it win over 5 furlongs at Sandown, and I just said to myself that I'll win the Stewards Cup.
Yeah.
So one of my biggest ever bets, I'd ended up with 10 grand on it at roughly 12 to 1. I think it went off 7 to 1 favourite. But this is, I mean, how do you know you're going to be, well, so
Here we go.
watch it.
Where is he?
Here we go.
He's far side. Can you put the ring round him, please, producer?
Is he blue and yellow colours?
Yeah.
Blue and yellow colours. Is that him in the middle?
He's going to come through on the far side.
Tell us where you thought you'd have this one.
Well, I never did because
a yellow
I was
cap in the
watching
middle.
horse in the table colours.
Game time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
For Neville Gallagher, wasn't it?
So everyone said to me, it still looks as though it's won, doesn't it?
I thought you won.
And so did Ray Cochrane, because he went like that.
Did he?
And that's what I think cost him the race. And I collared Ray when he used to do some of the press reports afterwards. Everybody thought he went, but I saw Danehill. Right, so my bedside backs, look at that.
Oh.
Look at that.
I mean,
For 6 figures.
You'd be 101 at that point, wouldn't you? You would have thought.
I would have thought so.
Yeah.
But I was convinced the other one had got, because you always think you're beat, don't you? When you're close. You
It's a
always,
natural
don't want it to
pessimistic
be.
thing to do, isn't it?
and my leg, I'm like that.
how long did it take to call the
Ages.
result?
Ages. And, but the longer it went on, you knew. And it was the Michael Tabor colours.
Yeah.
And he became champion sprinter, that thing that
time,
won
yeah.
in the handicap.
He was Group 1 performer, wasn't he?
Yeah, but so was mine. Mine won the Abbey that season.
Just not on that day.
Just not on that. So two
Oh,
Group 1
he won the
sprinters.
Abbey, didn't he,
Yeah.
at the end of that season?
Yeah.
Vic Sohn trained behind where I lived, my first house,
Yeah.
East Garston.
Right, yeah.
That was unlucky.
Yeah, nice fella by it was unlucky.
Should we go back to York? And a race that is, it's a signature race for you, is the Ebor.
Yeah,
It's changed
I
a
love
bit
the
these
Ebor.
days.
Well, I remember Pigeon winning the Ebor.
Nobody saw it that day, did they?
No, it was
on the ITV strike,
Yeah, it was
wasn't
the
it? Yeah.
strike. But you were there with your egg sandwiches. You saw it.
Yeah, I suppose. So the Ebor was the race. It was,
It was
kind of
the
a formative
family-
race that you were
it
talking
was-
about. And in the early 2000s, we're going to see some pretty famous results, one way or another.
So I
St.
think
Ailby?
I think you found me one good one
Okay,
and one bad one.
found a shocker. But we're going to go for 2003, I think, next up.
Which
St.
one's that?
Ailby.
Oh, that was right. That was the one that I wasn't. So I will sent a leb or a Leby. So I was finished literally that afternoon.
Were you?
I'd run out of petrol, and a guy called Richard, who I was hoping to see him at Ayr, collared me and he said, "I owe you 200 quid." Oh, great! Thank you. There it is. And I think I'd already had 100 quid on St. Aleb, anti-post for the Ebor. And then I just thought, well, I literally haven't got my bus fare left.
Right.
I've got to go and face the music with wife and kids. I've done the lot. I put the 200 quid at 25s on
this horse.
St. Aleb.
We can see it now.
And I think it was one of those where it's drawn 24. And he's down the outside. I haven't seen this, so I'm doing this from memory. But he stumbled coming out of the stalls.
Yeah.
Lost a load of
He
ground.
was drawn 17, stumbled
Was he?
badly.
Yeah.
And I think Richard Quinn was on board.
It was, yeah.
And I think he
And he
just kept it simple, didn't he?
Yeah, it just came wide of everything. Look. And you could just think, and all of a sudden you think, oh my God, this is...
There's some in the
this
yellow
could
and
happen.
blue on the
Yeah.
outside.
Yeah.
I mean, must have been tearing your ticket up early, but here now,
You're screaming like mad. I'm saved. All of a sudden, I've got a little bit of the tank again.
this would have been a great feeling.
Well, they are, yeah. That's what I mean. Best back to the wall merchant there's ever been.
I can see why now.
How many times do you remember really having to get yourself back up off the deck again?
Not many, but this was not that many.
This was a big one, was
one
it?
of them, yeah.
To go and land a feature handicap at 20 to 1 on the Saturday, and
Yeah.
suddenly we're back. And would you
You're
be,
back.
you know,
But I
when
mean,
you had downs, would you let
my
yourself
problem
get-
was there's quite a few in those days on-course punters.
Yeah.
Now, most of them, the problem was I'd had a fairly high salary in the city, so I needed to make money because I wanted to make more money. A lot of them were very happy making a lot less and not putting themselves under pressure. And a lot of them were single, nearly always blokes, nearly always, 99%. So they were living under a stone, but their life was to be at the races. As long as they got enough money to get to the races the next day, then they were achieving what they wanted to achieve. But I had a family to keep and aspirations, probably way above what I should have had.
Yeah.
So I was always up against it. No
Did the
matter
pressure ever
what.
get to you?
I think it makes you what you are. So I probably celebrated a bit too much and commiserated a bit too much. But, that's just your personality.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the days, the relief, you get off the track.
Can you feel it again now? Just talking about it, I bet you can.
Yeah.
You spoke about shaking and everything. It's like adrenaline rush.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and it's an addiction.
Getting that thrill, yeah.
It's like you're a professional sportsman.
Yeah, riding the winter. Yeah, well, was.
I know, but the thing
Yeah.
is,
There's nothing like it, is there? The elation of when
yeah,
it comes
and,
off.
And even you get addicted to sometimes the bad days when you have really. I used to sit opposite people into the train, and I used to grind my teeth. None of these are real. None of these are my own.
Check.
And I just hungry. So, as you asked.
I was never very good at geography.
But I used to see people looking at me, and I'm going, oh God, have I been talking to myself again? Because you'd just be
Go, just be on the train, going to races, or
no, coming back.
Oh.
Because you'd done something stupid, or you'd not stuck to your plan,
Yeah.
or
Be My
something had
Valentine just got
or
chinned up
some
the line.
jockey had just ridden a bad race or something like that. And it was that. I just couldn't see anyone around me. I was just like totally,
just absorbed by it.
yeah, consumed by it rather than absorbed. It was just.
We're gonna continue our look at the Ebor through the sort of the prism of,
Yeah.
of Dave Nevison's betting life. We've had the 2003 race. We're actually going to look at a couple that were quite quick off the back. In fact, 1 year later. Why is Mephisto in the list?
Oh, Mephisto was. This is a good story. This, I mean, I can barely.
Orange cap, blue, about 8 or 9 back.
Yeah, I mean, Luca Comani knew how to prepare a horse for the Ebor. He was the best at bringing these horses on to be 4-year-olds in Martinsea. And if you knew how his stable worked, you knew what was going to happen. It had been to a Goodwood race. I backed it anti-post. I'd backed it to win 10,000. I hadn't had 10,000 on it, but it was enough. And the thing is, the night before the Ebor, I'd been drinking Pernod.
Yeah.
Pernod with my friend who I called Terry the Gangster. Triple Pernods all night. And I got up on this table dancing and fell off. Ambulance called and everything. But so I'm in a hospital, sedated, and I literally woke up, put the telly on. That Ebor was being run, watched it win, and then flaked out again.
Did you know
So that's
what
the
was
only thing.
happening?
Yeah, I knew Mephisto had won.
So you drink a Pernod with Terry the Gangster
Yeah,
the night before a big bet.
yeah.
So what did you do?
Job done.
How did you injure yourself? I mean, what did you do?
With some.
I don't know. I just
Fell off a...
Can I ask in
Fell off
those?
the table.
Was Mrs. Nevison still Mrs. Nevison at that point?
in name. I think.
You'd thrown the towel in.
Yeah, it wasn't my finest time.
Well, I tell you what, your luck wasn't great at Taunton back in 2009. We're going to have a look at a
Well, that was the one that probably mentally finished
Is this the one where the Racing Post describes you as the unluckiest punter around or something?
in the world. Yeah,
In the world? OK.
this was the last leg of a Super 7.
So you've obviously backed the grey that's won the race.
Yeah, and the first 6
That's
have
won the
already
race.
won. Yeah.
Just got to ping
Coming
the
to
last.
the last. Just coming to the last. That's 330 grand to me. There you go.
Was that the last fence?
Yeah, 330 grand.
That was the last fence. How
That
have you
was
not
the last
won?
fence.
Don't.
How have you not won?
I'll show you how it's not won. That's how it's not won.
I've never seen that. I'm not.
Fortunately, I haven't seen it for a while. but yeah, I still.
And was that James Davis?
It was, yeah.
And you spoke to him?
I went down to check. Well, obviously.
You got Terry the gangster to speak to him.
No, I should. Well, anyway, no. I went down to Chepstow the next day because obviously all night after that I'd had either journalists or so-called friends ringing me up. Did you see that? Oh no, I didn't. What happened? No,
No, I didn't bother watching it. The last leg.
Through a second bottle of Pernod.
I couldn't work it out.
Have you enjoyed tonight so far, Dave? Are you all right?
Well, it's been very cathartic. What had you done to deserve that? It's why not? Even if it had happened on the first leg and the other six.
It feels because it's almost right up there with question of sport. What happened next, isn't it? And you are financially
destitute.
Yeah. It's ridiculous, really, isn't it?
But I did go down to Chepstow the next day. James was riding at Chepstow the next day. He might not even remember this, but I just asked him, and I could tell by his face that he'd obviously read the papers and knew that it was the last leg of a big accumulator for someone or for me, and he didn't do anything. He said he was just knackered, and she was knackered. She jinked one way, he went the other, and ended up. I'm not saying it was his finest hour. I wouldn't give him a 10 for that. Far from it, but. There was nothing deliberate.
No,
there's people. Everyone tells me, even up at Ayr last week. I don't go onto the court. Even up at there, some pillock came up and asked me about it.
I don't still. 15. Really?
They love it. They absolutely love it.
You think of this as therapy, Dave?
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you okay?
I mean, well, I'll never get over that one.
Yeah.
And it did finish me off mentally for a long time.
Tired mare once, she was knackered.
I just think it was. I mean, forget about the race now. That happening.
Yeah.
Destroyed me.
2009.
For a good while. Yeah.
I started racing UK behind the scenes that year, and I was, working with you. And what you were doing the TV work around that time.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you would have been on air that day. Of course not. We didn't. But did you have to just take a set? Put yourself on the back burner for a bit. Or were you?
Not really. I needed the work, but no. You just don't come back really from that one.
But you did.
I have done, yeah, and I'm happy. I've had other things. I mean, that wasn't a good run for me those years.
No.
Yeah.
Lesser men would have walked away from the sport, Dave. But
no, I can't. Yeah.
Kept on going.
You see,
I'm waiting for the sting in the tail every time.
Everything's lovely, but with a bit of needle. Isn't it?
I'd never seen that before. I didn't know what to expect. I was like, genuinely.
All right.
But look, as I say, I don't know whether other people are like this, but I tend to remember the bad stories and accept the good ones as just how it should be. So, and they're funnier, the bad stories. Well, they are.
Yeah, they are. And if you start, if we just sat here and just watched all the great ones,
it'd just be
all the success stories. Make it sound easy and.
Yeah, but I've had a bit of strife.
And we got another well-back favourite in the last well-back favourite. Won the last race yesterday. Let's hope we can stick it up Shinners. I'm sure we'll be back tomorrow.
Steady on, Nevo. I'm not sure we want to stick anything up Shinners.
Who's on track for us? Sir Nick, look. And Dave Nevison.
Okay, well, I'm back in the ring, and as I walked back, asking the bookies whether they wanted to say anything, they all blanked me. I've had about 2 or 3 punters coming up to me, showing me their phones, showing me whether they should cash out or not. And I just think, while Ruby's in this sort of form, the only thing I could say, this is the day that you live like a lion. We live like sheep so many days of the year as punters. This is our day. It's got our day written all over it. It is inevitable. If this one wins, and it will win, then it could be an absolute carnage day.
And in power at the last race down.
I recite racing TV on in my sleep every time I'm due to come on, because otherwise, the swear bot will do whatever the Racing UK
I've done it! Yeah, there we go! Get your money out,
I know I was going to actually swear then.
There we go. How can I do that? Unbelievable.
Right, okay, no more
Anyway,
today.
crack on.
Inside the final half furlong, Dream Burgess wandering around a bit, Winford blasting home in second, they race up towards the line,